on YouTube, Twitter, all those other good joints. Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. That's right. And I'm back just to do that. And let's see here. Let me check and make sure everything is hunky-dory. All right. First, starting with the sound. Check 1, check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4, and more. All right. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Number 2, make sure that the chat's working. Is the chat working? All right. I see people. Yeah. Dallas is giving me the wave. All right. I see Paula. There we go. Somebody said, yep. And then thirdly, I want to make sure the sound is working without the popping and all of that gibberish that goes on. Because we got a lot to chat about tonight. We're going to have a good one. Somebody said, I hear you. Yeah. All right. Now that's what I'm talking about. Long as y'all can hear me, then cool. Let's get busy. Starting off with me getting loose, man. Oh, ooh, you hear that neck crack? Yeah. Like a real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Just some keys in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. That's right, y'all. Gorillas in here. Now, before we get started, please check out the merch store. Also, that phone number right there that just popped up on your screen, 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, then we'll make sure you stay in the loop just in case they give me the boot. We don't want that. Yeah, y'all got to stay in the loop just in case I get the boot. And then finally, we got, I think, maybe 36 hours or so left on my little fundraising link that I created with what is it? You got so many of these cash apps now. It's not Cash App. You know which one I'm talking about. Yeah. Well, I got 36 hours, I think, left on that link. So if you want to support the channel through that, all you got to do is click on PayPal. There it is. If you want to click on that link, you can do that to support the channel and help me bypass some of the lack of allowing me to be monetized on some of my videos and give me that exposure that I need to allow myself to operate like I want. See, yeah, they want me operating under their conditions. I don't operate like that. Don't put me in a box, man. So you can do that if you want to help out the channel. With that being said, hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. And don't forget, I got an alternative channel you can subscribe to just in case some shenanigans go on here. And you can also follow me on, Rumble in the Jungle. So with that being said, let's get into it, man, because we got to find out what's going on with Creepy, Sleepy, Sleazy, Slimy, Sloppy Joe, who's on the campaign trail, y'all. Y'all, can y'all believe that? This man done finally came out that closet and decided I better do something or I'm going to get my butt beat, which I should have got my butt beat the first time. When lying about 81 million votes and stuff. So here I am trying to do stuff. And let's see how it's going. We want to catch up with Creepy on the campaign trail. Let's see how it's going, y'all. Somebody said, anyone else buffering? Let me check. Over here, I'm not buffering. But I'm not on the Wi-Fi. I'm on my network. Hopefully the network will hold. Just in case, though. Okay, just in case. I got the backup. I can go back and forth between the network and the Wi-Fi. You just let me know. So first try refreshing, though. All right, so here we go. Checking in on Creepy on the campaign trail. Here we go. He's in Raleigh?
What a great crowd. Please take a seat if you have one.
Okay.
I once said that at an event, and people didn't have chairs, and the press looked at me and said, what the hell's the matter with that guy?
Same joke. Same joke. You're recycling these stupid stories. Why don't this man just get rid of that joke? That statement is always a go-to for Joe. And that's Joe's go-to. Oh, yeah, I once said this, and there was those. And I'm going, Joe, you're beating that horse to death. It's already dead. That horse is gone, man. Bury it. But here he comes out with the same old stuff. Nothing new. He's stale. And that's the problem. This guy is completely stale. He is an old 80-something. See, that's what he is. You know how some people, meet somebody and you're like, man, you're 35? Wow, you seem like you're 50. You're an old 35. Old 35. And then there's some people who's 50 and you're like, you're young. You're young 50. This guy right here is an old 80-something.
Right. Anyway, Edward, thank you. Sergeant First Class, I was telling him my son, Bo, who I lost because of what happened in Iraq.
Some more lies. some more lies. He's starting the campaign trail off with lies, y'all. Straight up lies. Coming in with the Bo story. Always going back to the go-to. And nobody is coaching this guy. This is what kills me. I'm thinking to myself, y'all didn't plan and come up with new statements, new quotes, new energy, anything? So we're going back to Bo. And we all know that that's a lie. We all know about Bo. Bo did not die because of Iraq. But he keeps saying it. He keeps saying it. But you're trying to get us to understand that this guy's sane. He's fine. He's in his right mind. Boy.
Anyway, my son Bo, when he made major in Iraq,
Watch this.
I was there. I wasn't with him when he made that, when he got promoted.
What?
But I was with him later at an event.
Okay.
Anyway.
See, that's what happened. The brain at some point caught up with the lie and was like, wait a minute, hold on. Is this true? No, Joe, stop. This is a lie, Joe. This is a lie. Pull the parachute. Because, see, he didn't even know where he was going with that lie. He's on autopilot lying. See, that's right. He's like, you know what, man? I was with him right before. Wait, no, I was there right before. Was I in Afghanistan? I was in Iraq. What? Wait a minute. Wait, these are lies. Pull the parachute. This guy right here, man, is out there just lying and then stops. Anyway, what? Somebody needs to follow up and ask some follow-up questions like, yo, man, you started off talking about Bo and you were with him and all that stuff. Then you just said, anyway, we want to know what happened afterwards. But see, nothing happened afterwards because it was all being made up as he was talking.
Thanks for the welcome back to North Carolina, Gulf. I appreciate it very much. I also want to mention Congressman Deborah Ross. Where's Deborah?
Uh-oh.
I just had my picture taken with her. That's probably why she left.
Now, see, I got some questions. Not just about Deborah, but about that eyebrow. Now, they done tried to make Joe all up so he can kind of look fresh and young for the campaign trail. Done put Vaseline all on him, shined him up, put some baby oil on that face, took that skin and stretched it back as far as it can go, and left one eyebrow too low. The skin is back as far as it can go, but the eyebrow is low. So one eyebrow is dipping in like this, and I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, look like he's constantly like this. Like he got the bionic man eyebrow for no reason, though. He got the bionic man eyebrow for no reason. So let's see where this lie is going, okay? Because he's talking about somebody who's supposed to be there, and he just took a picture with her.
No, all kidding aside. Anyway, she couldn't be here, actually.
Why not?
That's not true. I got mixed up. Right. And she has, she fights very hard for the people of this district, and she's up in Washington right now.
What?
Wait, hold on.
Thank you,
a second.
Ricky
Let me make
Bobby.
sure I got this straight.
Thank you, Ricky Bobby. How in the world did you get that mixed up? You just said you took a picture with her. So who's the person that you took the picture with? I need my press pass. I'm telling you, I wish I had the funds and the resources to just follow this campaign around and asking questions. Who was the mysterious person you took the picture with if the person you just referenced is in Washington? Some random human, or you're lying about that?
I also want to mention Congressman Deborah Ross. Where's Deborah?
Oh, there she is in the picture.
I just had my
Maybe we heard it
taken
wrong the
with her.
first time.
That's probably why she left. No, all kidding aside. Anyway, she couldn't be here, actually.
Oh.
That's not true. I got mixed up. And she has, she fights very hard for the people of this district, and she's up in Washington right
All the
now.
way in Washington.
Oh my God. What happened? What happened? He's done. He's done. That's what's happened. It's over. He's finished. What's going to happen to me?
I feel like I was riding inside an asteroid or comet or something.
Guess what?
That's right. He's done. That's right, man. Help me, Tom Cruise. Use your witchcraft to get the fire off me. Help me, baby Jesus. That guy's done. He's done. The Democrats know he's done, man. I mean, how in the world is he going to pull off anything during these last 9 or 10 months left? So let's continue, because I'm sure it gets better when he starts asking some questions. Guess what?
What? And guess what? Well, guess what? We're doing the opposite. But guess what?
Guess what?
And guess what?
Another guess what?
Guess what?
Okay.
Well, guess what?
What? Uh-oh. The creepy guess what? He got guess what's for all occasions. Yeah. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? All kind of guess what's for every occasion.
I was down in Raleigh, as I said the other day.
Okay.
I didn't pass by a gas station that wasn't under $3.
Uh-oh.
$2.99, $2.87.
Wow, it looks like the average price was like $2.17. So maybe he only passed by one gas station. Or Joe doesn't know what he's talking about. It could be that. And I'm thinking it's the latter.
I mean, come on. The folks are starting to see it.
Folks are starting to see it.
I'm surprised he didn't say, folks, it's fart to see it. I mean, this guy's a complete embarrassment. Complete embarrassment to, and you can't really, I mean, the Democrat Party is already an embarrassment anyway, as a whole. But this guy right here is an embarrassment not only to their party, which their party itself is an embarrassment, but he's an embarrassment to the whole country. And I'm absolutely flabbergasted that they would still stick him out there to try to pretend to campaign. I mean, do you understand the level of, arrogance they have to stick him out there and try to make us think that this guy's worthy of anybody's vote, or desperation that they have to have if this is the best that they can produce? I mean, that's scary. Now, I'm still believing that they're going to try to swap this guy out at some point along the path, because he's only getting worse. He's only getting worse. By the time, if they even have him, if they have a debate with Trump, I'm sure they might even put some. They're not going to lower his down to Trump's standards to even debate him. It's not worth it. We've seen what kind of person he is. We're not going to debate him. We're not going to show that. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to try to pull something where they can bypass any type of debate, because that would be a catastrophe. Or else they probably would bring in a rocket size injection of adrenaline just to try to get this guy through that debate. But nonetheless, how are you sticking him out there like this? Just send Chameleon out there to do the best she can and call it a day. But nope.
I just met with a lovely woman who knows a little about the environment.
What?
Going to plant thousands of trees in her city. 1 million total.
What? Hundreds? What to millions? We got that Joe Biden funny math, y'all. There it is, man. They're literally going to plant hundreds of trees in a million. That's a big difference, Joe. Who do you know can plant 1 million trees, y'all? That's what I want to know. Oh, Joe. Man, that's some dedication right there. All right, look, it says right here I'm planting 100 and something, but I just heard Joe say I'm planting 1 million. So we better get busy. Day and night, night and day, planting trees.
Total.
1 million total. Middle total.
Middle.
Can't lead the world.
Okay.
Unless you have the best infrastructure.
He's serious now.
Well, you're helping us change that. Now we're going on our way to leading the world again.
Uh-oh.
Over 40,000 new infrastructure projects announced to date.
Announced the date. There it is. They're going to help us lead. First of all, as he talks, everything's delayed. It's slow. It's like he's, some type of, delayed reaction to his own thoughts. Announced the date. It's a one-off gaffe.
More to come.
Okay.
A year and a half ago. Hello. Whoa.
That's right.
About a year and a half ago, whereas a large crowd like this.
Okay. See, so it's not one time. He got a problem with them G's. Galarge, ganounce. That's that Joker thing, man. Yeah, go get that lexicon. Go get that dictionary. So we got ganounce. Somebody said I'm buffering. A couple people say I'm buffering. Oh, am I buffering? Hit that reset. If I am, if I'm not, because I can see myself nice and smooth here. Don't look like I'm buffering. Am I? Yeah, am I buffering? Somebody say yes. So let me do this. I'm going to switch on that Wi-Fi and see if that works. Sometimes the Wi-Fi is worse. Somebody said, yeah, buffering. Okay, let's see. Okay. Give that Wi-Fi a second to boot up. Somebody said I'm back. Okay. All right. So while we're waiting for that, please hit that like button. Okay. Now, you hear that? He got a problem with the G's. What else?
Whereas a large crowd like this.
Whereas a large crowd like this announced to date.
Announced to
date. I'll say one last thing.
Let's see. Here we go.
We're the only major company in the world.
We're the only major company in the world.
The only major company in the world. So now the United States is a company. The only major company in the world. What?
Has come out of every crisis stronger than we went in. Richard Blanco returned to a poem he wrote from the second
God. Oh, God. Everybody brace for impact. Brace for impact, because Joe's about to go Edgar Allan Poe on us. He about to start reading a poem. Now, you know this is all bad. This could only end badly.
Inaugural Barack and me. A poem, one today. It says, and always one moon like a silent drum tapping at every rooftop.
Okay.
And every window on every of every county.
Oh.
Country. Let me start this over again.
Oh.
I'm getting so intimidated by it being here. And always one moon like a silent drum tapping on every rooftop and every window.
Slowly tapping on my door. So y'all hearing? He had to reboot the poem. He had to restart the poem, and still jacking it up.
Of one country, county. Country, county. Companies have...
He's done. Why don't they just suspend the whole campaign? Pull a Ron DeSantis. Pull somebody. Get this man out of here. Get him out of here. Handle it. But no, don't handle it, because I want to see the embarrassment. I want to see the embarrassment on full display. See, I know I want him impeached. I want a whole bunch of them impeached. I want Mucus gone. I want his whole administration. I want him gone. And I want him, I want some charges pressed against them for what they've done to our country on so many levels. But with him, I want them to just let him linger just a little to really show everybody what they've done. I want all those people who, for whatever reason, thought he was a better choice than Trump to really see what they've done. I want them looking up at the sky going, what have we done? That's what I want. I want that. What have we done? So they can learn from their lesson, from the lesson of voting for this, even though we know how he got in. But still, if you voted for this dude, you need to learn this lesson.
Announced $11 billion in manufacturing and clean energy investments just in South Carolina.
Wow.
$11 billion.
11 billion?
Companies across the county, or across the country. We're going to work.
Too many C's, man. Too many C's. So there he is, man, hacking it up. He's on the campaign trail, though, y'all. Because remember, a couple shows back, you saw them surrogates out there like he's vibrant. Joe Biden is sharp, is a attack. He's the smartest man in the room. He's up on it. Does he seem that way to you?
Work with Congress to increase access to the country's parks, and most of those emissions in this country come from transportation.
Okay.
Between the Palestinian Authority, the United States, and between the Palestinian countries and counties throughout the region. 300.
So this ain't just new. This right there, he's been making this gaffe for a long time. This is a gaffe of the past. Okay, these are gaffes from the past, and then bring it up to January 19th, 2024.
$50 billion for state and local governments. Money to put cops back on the beat, teachers in the classroom, keep cameras in their homes.
Yeah, all of that.
And train your workforces and get small businesses on their feet. Money directed to every single city in the country.
Directed to every single city in the country.
There it is. Them gaffes of the past done caught up with his butt. Here we go.
Are you stupid or something?
Absolutely.
Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
Well, let's see just how stupid does.
And so when I got elected, I acted to turn it around. And so have you. In 2023, violent crime came down significantly. It's one of the largest yearly declines.
Y'all ain't heard of that? Y'all ain't never been a victim of the crime? Yeah. Yearly decline, man. It's all over the place. Running rampant. The crime.
Yearly declines of homicide ever. Well, first of all, thank you for what you're doing. I agree. Let me put this in perspective. The research by the doc shows that reducing lead exposure for children. This is a study that was done on the NIH.
What?
Can't hear you. You're trailing off.
Did that man just trail off? Did y'all hear that? That man just straight up. All right. I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can figure out what was said there, ladies and gentlemen.
This is a study that was done in this.
All right, wait. It was done in. I don't know what that is, man. There's no way. I guarantee you, whoever is doing the typing and trying to record what he's saying is like, what the crap was that? So, yeah. Somebody said I'm buffering again. You got to be kidding me. Am I? Am I really? Over here, I'm seeing myself moving. I'm not sure. So go. Already remember, guys. The first go-to is try to refresh. If that don't work, then we'll keep it moving. All right. So y'all hear that? So now this is how articulate this guy is. Because remember, the real issue with the Biden administration is being able to articulate their message. See, they want to make sure that everybody is able to hear what the Biden administration is doing and what they're planning on doing. And I can't hear that. I just heard.
Can't hear you.
I can't hear that. I don't know what that was.
You're trailing off.
Folks I met in your cities and towns are a big reason why I've never been more optimistic about our nation's future.
Okay.
Like I said, I know I only look like I'm 40, but a little more than that. All kidding aside, been around a long time. And I've never been more optimistic in my whole life about the prospects for America, except some of the people I know.
So wait, why aren't the people that optimistic? See, yeah, this guy right here is out here telling us he's never been more optimistic, but why can't he transfer that to the people? That's my question. Well, we're about to find out why he can't transfer that to the people in a second, because we're just going ahead and checking out, how he's doing on his campaign trail, how articulated he is, and how, well-spoken, and how inspirational he is to all of his voters and others. So let's go ahead and finish watching him make a complete fool of himself before we find out why people aren't getting on board with the gaffe machine. Here we go.
But all kidding aside, if there's everything you're going to expend money on, you want to increase the prospect of...
New words. Grospect.
I think he's getting worse. He is getting worse.
Oh, he's getting worse.
Because otherwise, people get really, really, really confused. We talk about, for example, in this speech they put together for me, they talk about the supplemental. Bless me, Father, for Frank...
I don't even know why he did that. What does it? First of all, you never tell anybody, they put the speech together for me. We all know that, but you don't say that out loud. Every single thing this guy says and does is handled by other people. Every step he take, every move he make, they be watching Joe. This man doesn't do anything on his own because he's incapable of doing it. So they be like, all right here, Mr. President, one step. All right, take that other foot, make another step right there. You're going to step right there, each one. Okay, just like that. We're right behind you. That's how bad he is right about now. And if they could come out and actually shove their hand right up his back and start moving his mouth, they would. So they're over there biting their nails every time he comes out to the mic. Like, we told him what to say. We gave him, why is he telling everybody we wrote the speech? Just say the speech. But nope, not him. They told me to call on, and they told me. Stuff like that.
Franklin Roosevelt brought electricity to rural America.
Okay.
That's what he did because it wasn't there. And he realized that it was necessary to equalize the country and to grow the whole country. Good. Well, we're bringing high-speed internet to everyone in America. Rural, it's the same thing. The same necessities.
Necessities. Y'all ain't never heard of that? Necessities? There you go. It's the same thing. It's necessities. He's done. He's done. Yep. I know Jill over there sitting there going, oh, God, he's done. So let's continue hearing him on that campaign trail.
Same necessities.
The same necessities. Critical our economy. Take student debt relief for public servants.
Okay, here we go.
I
This is scary.
I want to forgive all student debt. And the Supreme Court said, no, I didn't have the authority to do that. Okay.
What was that? I don't even know how he made that sound out of his nose. That's an impossible sound to make. What was that? I can't even duplicate it. I'm sitting there going, can I even joke and make that
Public
sound?
servants. I want to forgive all student debt. And the Supreme Court said, no, I didn't have the authority to do that. Okay.
Joe has a little choo-choo train in his nose. What was that sound coming out of Joe's nose? Boy, I tell you, man, that was such an unnatural sound. In my whole life, I have never heard anybody produce that sound. But that just came out of that man's nose. I don't know what it was. But guys, you know what? We're going to get to the bottom of what that was. It's only a sound Joe's nose can produce.
By the way, when I started the job, I kept talking about the need for a deal with the environment.
Okay.
So we don't have a problem. Anybody think climate's not a problem? Raise your hand.
Me too. You hear that? Anybody who thinks climate change is not a problem, raise your hand. Oh, I think it's not a problem, but there he is. Now he's on his creep. So I creep. Yeah. So now here he is. Anybody? Whisper.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. So guys, electing him equals crap like this. And he wonders why we're not inspired to go and elect him.
President Biden's catastrophic withdrawal from Afghanistan is a disgrace. In war, we make a commitment to leave no one behind. Our so-called commander-in-chief is abandoning Americans, our Afghan allies, and members of NATO who only came to Afghanistan to help us. This is shameful.
It is.
Pulling our troops out of Afghanistan before every American citizen is out goes against every fiber of America's national character.
And are you committed to making sure that the troops
Let's listen to this line.
every American who wants to be out is out?
Yes.
These people have been through a massive ordeal. Many of them are American citizens, and some of them are very angry. They say they've been abandoned by the U.S. government.
And we, as citizens, feel like we've been abandoned by the U.S. government as well. I mean, not only did he lie about getting all of the citizens out during that time and was responsible for people getting killed and all of that, but he's abandoned the American citizens as well here by opening up that border, opening us up and allowing us to be subject to potential danger coming through the southern border. Yeah, for suckers. Everything that this guy has done, really, if people step back and aren't influenced by the media, they'll see that it is counterproductive to our best interest as a country and as citizens. Everything. I can't think of one positive thing him or anybody in his administration has done that has benefited us as Americans. All of the, some Production Act and Bidenomics and all of that stuff, and we got this and this and that and that. All of the crap that they tout, I'm saying, that's garbage. Everything is garbage. Everything that you guys have done have put us in a worse condition. All the lies about all of the jobs they produce are lies. Talking about we produce more than Trump and our economy, and we're, and I'm going, all lies, man. Y'all have made us weaker. Y'all have made us worse. Y'all have divided the country more. Y'all have opened the country up to an invasion. Everything you've done has been counterproductive to our country. And yet, here he is again trying to run it back. He's never even came out and was accountable for what happened to these people in Afghanistan. We still don't know. Did the Americans that were left behind just decide we're just going to stay? Apparently, the U.S. is not coming back for us, so we just might as well make a go of it. Unreal.
If there's American citizens left, we're going to stay till we get them all out.
Liar.
His decision to leave Americans behind to satisfy the Taliban's red line is weak and feckless.
Yep. Just like that guy we saw out there whistling out of his nose. Whistle while he works. So now, the whistle while he gaffs. Look at that. Taliban back on the scene. Yeah, with a gangster lean within days. Trust me, the Taliban is not coming back. The army there is well capable of what? I'm just getting word that they done took over the whole country in the middle of my speech. That's how quick they came back in. And then got hold to our weapons and had a ball.
As a U.S. citizen who was living in Afghanistan,
I'm completely angry because they could have managed this much better way.
I'm very completely angry as well. Joe Biden absolutely sucks. That's what I would be saying. I mean, these people put their lives on the line, interacting with the U.S. and helping them out. And now that's what the Biden administration did. And y'all want to put that guy back in office? I believe not.
The Biden administration had abandoned Bagram Airfield in the middle of the night. Today, the Taliban controls more of Afghanistan than they did 20 years ago, and now they have billions of dollars worth of U.S. weapon systems. Their rule will once again make Afghanistan a haven for terrorists. This is shameful.
Probably our gun right there. Yep, look at that. Very nice, very nice. We wouldn't be able to afford this on our own. Very nice. Thank you, Joe Biden. Appreciate it. Thanks for the helicopters. We love them. Very good, very good. Unbelievable. And this guy somehow is still waddling through his 4 years. I mean, the people should have turned on him like 50 gazillion, trillion, billion times over all the debacles that this man has caused. And it's like people just forget. That's why I'm reminding everybody right now, as this guy continues to meander through his campaign, what he is responsible for. This guy did this, man.
President Joe Biden has failed.
And he will continue to fail. And can you imagine the failures that await us if he gets back in office? If somehow they install this man, which would be almost impossible at this point. And I've been watching some polls, and I've been watching some reactions from the fake news. And a lot of them have conceded that most likely Trump will win and be back in the White House. They're already starting to prep, like, all right, what's the next game plan? In fact, they're already launching their insurrection, trying to limit Trump's ability when it comes down to the military. Can you believe that? I mean, here's the people who says he's going to be a dictator. He's going to use the power of the military. He's going to use the power of the DOJ. He's going to do all of this stuff. And yet they're already starting their coup before he even gets in, by trying to put together a group of people who limits the power and control that Trump has over the military. Because see, what they don't want is Trump to come in and drop some martial law down on their butts to get rid of all of these folks that are a part of the deep state, and to also put the smackdown on their brown shirts that they want to release. Because you know that's what's going to happen. Soon as Trump wins, unleash the hounds. Out comes Antifa, out comes Black Lives Matter. And I would say out comes the military, send in the National Guard. Don't rely on these sorry behind governors and mayors who allowed this crap to happen throughout our cities and our states during Trump's administration. Don't allow it, man. Send a message. See, that's what you need to do. Send a message that you can't be out there dragging people out the cars. You can't be out there using political violence and intimidation and all of that stupid stuff. You can't be out there attacking folks just because they got a MAGA hat on and all of that mess. Send a message. And we're going to hear a stupid guy from MSNBC at the end of my show that actually believes that no, it wouldn't be us. It wouldn't be the left that would commit any type of acts like that. It would be folks on the right. They're responsible for all of this political violence. But before we get to that, Joe and the corrupt crew is about through. Not just Joe is blew out, but some of his allies, some of the corrupt folks that's been around seem like for ages doing nothing but damaging the country. Just the evil actors say they're about through. So let's check out the crew that's about through. Starting with who?
The melting of the Greenland ice sheet affects...
is an anomaly.
Ice sheet.
The evil emperor. Don't sound good, man. Y'all hear that? Now that man is pure evil walking. Pure evil walking. All that evil done caught up with him. Y'all hear them uhs and ums? Now the sad part is he got an evil son in the wings waiting to take over the evilness. But that guy right there, look at him. Let's hear that again. Because see, normally, last time I heard from him, he was talking about some Trump is an anomaly that will disappear in 2020. Now he's doing some ums and ahs.
The melting of the Greenland ice sheet affects ice sheet.
He's struggling. He's struggling. I mean, it's amazing this man is still kicking it, though. See, that I guess all that evil has petrified him. Yeah, it's like formaldehyde or something. Yeah, all right, we're keeping him alive. Nothing but evil. It's keeping this man alive. So he's dedicated his life to evilness and the destruction of, the Western civilization. And now it looks like it's all catching up to him. I'm just sad because I also watched a video of his son that, once again, like I mentioned earlier, wants to pass this evilness along. But at least this guy right here might be out of commission. Now, I'm not wishing death on anybody, but I am saying it looks like, yeah, the folks that's a part of this evil, corrupt cabal is on its last leg. Not only him, but who else?
Would increase the level of the oceans by 7 meters.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
That poses a threat to the survival of our civilization.
Now, you would think he would be reflecting on his evilness. You would think all these Democrats would be reflecting on their evilness and these globalists right about now. But nah, they're going to hang on to the evil to the end. They like, man, I'm evil to the end. You think Nasty is going to try to come out and make a confession about what really took place in that beauty salon? No. She could be on her deathbed and be like, no, I'm not going to apologize to those peasants. They should be apologizing to me. That's right. I was still set up, and I'll go to my grave believing it. See, so the evilness is in the bone. Here's another one.
My thoughts about what? Running for re-election.
The evil crew is almost through.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
Now, why won't he just go sit down somewhere? I don't understand.
All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute.
Why is this man still in the Senate? Nobody, I don't know if his wife is still alive or not, but nobody came out and said, you know what, it's it. That's it. That's it. We've had enough. We're not going to, I can't even trust his decision making at this point. That man just straight looks like he should be somewhere eating pudding in somebody's elderly home right now. But nope, here he is out there trying to answer questions.
Senator.
Part of that evil crew is almost through. Yeah.
Okay.
He's going for round 2.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
It's over. Here he is again. Here he is again.
And a string of
What? Okay. He's done. He's done. Pull the plug. That evilness, it catches up to you. Look at that. Now, I don't know if Mitch got family members. I don't know if he got, like I said, I don't know if he's married. Somebody should come out to his rescue right now. I would never, ever let my father be sitting up there looking like that. Ever. I would be like, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for my father to step down. He is no longer capable of fulfilling his duties. You know, I mean, and I don't even know what the answer was about if he tries to run again in 2024. I would hope the answer is I'm not even able to run in 2024. See, so here's the guy who dedicated his last, 6 to 8 years trying to get Trump out, pretending like he was cool with Trump for a while. He did a good job with the Supreme Court justices, but besides that, garbage. Besides that, pure garbage. He did everything he could to hurt Trump and keep Trump from acquiring real MAGA Republicans. Him and the rest of the rhinos are all working against America First agenda. And now this is the result. At least some of them I ain't wishing death on you, but I am wishing that the evil crew is through. Go sit down somewhere. And then after him, we got one of the last components of the evil crew. They should be through. There you go. Take him somewhere, make him sit down.
Go ahead, John.
And then we got who else coming up right after this? The last element.
I hope this experience for the speaker has been one of a personal revelation.
Okay.
I'm not being facetious. Anyway.
Now you telling me that man is not through? See, the same guy who just got out there and started telling us about Bo. And I was with Bo, and not with him, but it was in Afghanistan. You know what? Anyway, that's his outlet. That's his off-ramp to every time he goes off script and realizes I can't do stuff. Anyway, there it is. So that guy right there and the rest of the evil crew should be through. They are on their last leg of evilness. Now, I'm not saying they need to croak, but they need to go somewhere and sit down and let somebody else handle it. And in Joe's case, I don't know how he's going to get through this. So anyway, there you go. The last. And now, there's some other folks in that crew that should be through as well. I didn't highlight them. Nasty Pelosi. She got a little more sense left than him. There's some other old ones. Anybody else I miss? Some old ones that need to go sit down. Clyburn. Yeah, he needs to go sit down. Sheila Mahalia Jackson. Oh, Mad Max. Mad Max is running around still infested with evil. She's utilizing all of her evil unto the end. Mad Max is going down to the end. You know what? If anybody, and racism and white nationalism and all of that stuff, it's a whole bunch of them that really needs to be through. But those three, if you just listen to them, you realize that, that evil crew is almost through. But anyway, you know who else is through? Ron DeSantis, y'all. Yeah, Ron submits to the Don. He had to tap out and say, no mas, no mas, no mas, man. Okay, let's hear what the Ron is submitting to the Don is all about. How it all began right here. Here we go.
You're running for governor, and I have a question for you. You're running for governor. Why don't you look in the eyes of the people of the state of Florida and say to them, if you're reelected, you will serve a full 4-year term as governor. Yes or no?
Uh-oh.
Yes
Look
or no, Ron?
Look at his face.
Will you serve a full 4-year term if you're reelected governor of Florida? It's not a tough question.
Wait a minute. Why is Ron DeSantis sitting there looking like a bobblehead? I don't understand. Man, that look right there says it all. He's like, man, Ron DeSantis is so socially awkward sometimes. It's hilarious. So now, instead of answering that question, he got the slight wobble. Like, I'm just going to ignore it. Like, I don't even hear what this man just asked me. Because he knew. He knew right then. He was setting the people up for failure. Here they are investing in 4 more years of Ron DeSantis running the country. And this guy had already made it up in his mind to go after Trump. Now, I don't know who talked him into that mess. But boy, did they stick it to him. No, really, he talked himself into that. He let this all go to his head. Did such a great job down there in Florida. And then I guess he felt he had the juice. Had the juice, man. He was like, you know what? I'm going after the big dog. And went after him. And let's see how that all ended. Look,
it's a fair question. He won't tell you.
Of course he won't.
I want to ask you about something the former president said about Ron DeSantis. Because he's been, I don't know, a little circumspect when asked directly about possible 2024 opponents. But listen to what he told Yahoo News in an interview over the weekend, Yahoo Finance. If I faced him, Ron DeSantis, I'd beat him like I would beat everybody else. I don't think I will face him. I think most people would drop out. I think he would drop out. Wonder how Ron DeSantis would respond to that.
My guess is the reality is DeSantis would not challenge Trump, but I doubt that he likes being boxed in this way.
Nikki Haley announced.
So Trump said, look, man, if I had to go to war against him, I think I'd beat him. I think he'd drop out. So, yeah. Now, I, to this day, don't know why Ron DeSantis decided I'm going to run against Trump. I mean, and what burns me up about this is after those midterms, so many good Republicans that I thought were good came out and was quick to throw Trump under the bus. There's nothing worse than to see folks tuck tail and run when times get hard. It really reveals who they are. Like Paul Ryan. Soon as that Hollywood Access tape came out, he was like, run for your lives. Every man for himself, save yourself, we're done. And just bounce. And then soon as Trump's numbers started to rise again, here he comes out like a weasel. I'm back. That's right, Trump 2024. Now, I don't want your endorsement then. See, I mean, it burns me up. You have people up there in Virginia, the governor and the vice governor, I forget her name, whatever her name is, the black lady from Jamaica. I mean, I loved her. And then immediately, it's time for us to move on. It's time. And I'm going, I got a question, y'all. See, I mean, a lot of Republicans now, you see them coming out now and starting to endorse Trump because they see the writing on the wall. I don't like it. I mean, granted, the party is going to be united, but I would never sleep with both eyes closed on any of these people. Any of these people. Only the ones that stuck with me through thick and thin. Any of those that, for some reason, after J6 tried to throw Trump under the bus, have it both ways, where they're like, well, I don't agree with what the president did and said, but at the same time, I would only ride and die with those that said, man, this is garbage. These accusations are garbage. This is not an insurrection. And we do still question this election. I would only roll with them. Any of the ones that showed any wavering and the ability to immediately just distance himself from Trump, and then only to try to ease back in when things change. Nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with him. Lindsey Graham, done. That weasel, after all of that crap, he helped sabotage the midterms. And then when Trump went and campaigned in his state, he got the nerve to try to come out on stage, and Trump let him do it to embarrass himself. Came out there, hey, everybody, boo! See, and so Ron DeSantis right now, after challenging Trump for some reason, and the crazy part is the rally that I went to in the summer, there were some people from Florida, some black dudes. And I happened to be sitting next to them. And I'm like, man, this was before, Ron really revealed himself like this. And I said, yeah, man, y'all got a great governor down there. Yeah, man, he all right. He got some dirt on him too, man. He's dirty. And I'm like, what? Really? He's like, yeah, man, trust me. He ain't right. Something ain't right. When I'm going, wow, y'all traveled all the way from Florida to Pennsylvania to a Trump rally, and I compliment your governor, and y'all telling me that he ain't right. They saw the writing on the wall. I said I didn't know what they were talking about at first. And then as time went on, I'm going, okay, why is Ron running? Why is he saying this? Why is he doing this? This is suspicious. So I'll just say this. Ron needs to stick with Florida. And he, at the end of this clip, you'll see he did something to try to salvage his political career at the end of this.
Your presidential run today, do you plan on following suit?
Wouldn't you like to know?
4 to 6 weeks later.
We showed that we can and must revitalize America. We need the courage to lead and the strength to win. I'm Ron DeSantis, and I'm running for president to lead our great American comeback.
Be careful what you wish for.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Me too.
Okay, not a lot of suspense at the top of the ticket. Show us how big a blowout this was, though, for the former president.
Yeah, a couple ways to look at it, Savannah. I mean, first of all, the 51% that Donald Trump ends up with, that is a record in the Iowa caucuses. The previous best was 41%. And the margin here, it's basically 30 points, Trump to DeSantis. The previous best was 12 points. So he substantially improved on what we've seen historically. Look, Trump improved, obviously, across the board. The biggest improvement, evangelical voters. He lost them double digits in 2016. He swamped DeSantis and Haley among them. Ouch.
Yeah, swatted that butt. And you know what's crazy? If Ron DeSantis would have just laid low for another 4 years, just rode in on his success, supported Trump, actually came out strong against all of these obvious attacks, violations, and abuse of power by the Biden administration, if he would have just did that, he could have wrote his ticket into the presidency, and we would have never known any of this. We'd have never known he had this inside of him. See, because what this has done, it's revealed that he has something inside of him that caused him to do this, that makes it hard for me ever to look at him through pure, innocent eyes again. See, once you do something like that, now I'm going, you revealed something about it. You could have hid all of that and just wrote it out for 4 more years, and then we'd have all been like, Ron DeSantis did another great job in Florida. You know, if he was corrupt, if he was evil, if he is a rhino, we'd have never known. He could have just walked straight in, because we'd have all put our, most likely, people would have put all of their support right behind him if he would have showed his support towards Trump for these 4 years. But instead, he stepped out too early, man, and revealed something about himself that now I can't unsee. That's the problem with that. I just can't unsee that.
One interesting nugget here, I think. Look, 99 counties in Iowa. You see that Trump red all over this. There's one county that Trump didn't win, and I want to show you how close Trump came to going 99 for 99. Check this out. One vote. Wow. One vote in Johnson County, and if it had flipped,
Trump would have ran the whole board except for one vote. One vote. That's a lot of red, y'all. Then a little smidge of burgundy right there. So Nikki Haley won one county by one vote. Unreal. I got to question that one vote, but let's continue.
Donald Trump would have won there, and he would have gone 99 for 99.
I think we must remark upon the absolute tragedy of Ron DeSantis.
Listen, the way to pronounce my last name, winner.
Lehu Zahir. That's how it's pronounced now. So now, not only did he get embarrassed by Trump, but he has given the left-wing media all of this ammunition to say, see, he wasn't all that. Told y'all. Even though they were trying to pump him up for a while to make him seem like, oh, yeah, well, we can still tolerate him more than Trump. Let's go ahead and see if we can get Ron to say, oh, what? He's losing? Good. Let's go ahead and show him how we really feel about him. All of those invites on MSNBC, CNN, all of that was a means to an end. They was like, come on, let's bring this dude on. Hopefully he can take away votes from Trump. Hopefully he can try to, destroy Trump's career. He can badmouth Trump. And he played into it. See, that's what bothers me. I respect Vivek, even though some people feel like, well, I can't trust Vivek. I respect him because he never played into the left-wing media propaganda. He never said, let me utilize their tactics and their dirty, stinking platform to get on there and badmouth and trash Trump. Thinking what? What was going to be the outcome? You think they were going to fall in love with you soon as he pulled out immediately? We knew he was garbage. Yeah, he was stinks. White nationalist, racist, white nationalist. So they only used him for a minute, just like Nikki Haley. Now they're letting her have it in some cases. But let's continue because he said his last name was Winner.
A potentially major development in Ron DeSantis' presidential campaign tonight. The Florida governor canceling appearances on both CNN's State of the Union and NBC's Meet the Press tomorrow morning, right before the New Hampshire primary.
The media hits were canceled due to a scheduling issue and will be rescheduled.
Bullshit. Thank you. We all smelled caca. We all smelled shite when he canceled those events. I'm going, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Johnson. Yeah. So, he canceled those events. And then, of course, what happened?
I mean, Ron is in 5th or 6th place. What the hell happened to Ron? Does anybody know what happened to I think I happened to Ron. You know what? I made Ron. I got him elected. I got him the nomination first, and I got him elected. Remember, he was running against a guy that turned out to be a crackhead, unfortunately. But
and he was. He was a crack to the head, man. Oh, boy. I wonder what he's doing now. In rehab. He finally got busted being a down low guy. Had to come out and tell everybody, all right, I'm sick. See, that's your last resort. I'm sick. Okay, I got problems. When you finally get exposed. Sick, Your Honor. I'm sick. I got a disease, a sickness. So, yeah, that guy right there got completely exposed. That would have been a catastrophe. But Trump's instincts are amazing. And the reason I say that is when there was rumors that Ron DeSantis was going to run, and Trump started launching attacks against him. People were like, why is he doing this? Why is he coming at Ron like this? I mean, Ron hadn't even made, a declaration of running and all of that stuff. And Trump was just letting him have it. Trump knew something. Trump was like, this dude, he about to try to backstab me, and I know it. And so I got to give it to him. I even was like, wait, until Ron DeSantis come out and says it, why is Trump attacking him like this? And Trump knew. He knew. His instincts are amazing. So now he gets a little chance to gloat a bit, and I get it. Here we go.
At the time, he was a very popular guy and, good-looking guy. They used to say he's going to be a president of the United States within 12 years. He's going to be a president of the United States.
Yeah, that's that crackhead.
That didn't work out too well, I don't think.
No.
But he didn't think he could beat him, but I got him elected. He was down. It was over. It was over. In Florida. And he came to see me, tears in his eyes. And he needed my endorsement. I said, Ron, you're so far down that if I were George Washington and Abraham Lincoln put together, I couldn't get you elected. He said, no.
But now, I will say this. Trump endorsement of Ron DeSantis not only saved Ron DeSantis' career, but it saved Florida. Can you imagine if that stinking nasty dude would have became the governor of Florida? Right now, Florida would be a sanctuary state. God knows what the heck will be going on. All of the crap, CRT, all of the equity, equity and whatever diversity crap would be implemented in every school. All of the crap that they have in those schools, those books, everything would just be on full display. You think that nasty dude would have been fighting against the kids, getting this and that done to him? Nope. He would have been all for it. Yeah, let's reproduce myself and all of the young adults. That's what I'm going to do. That guy. So Trump, by helping Ron, even though Ron might have stuck it to him, tried to stick it to him in the end, he saved Florida. He really did. And by him helping Ron get elected, turned Florida red. Now, I hope it stays red. And that's why when Ron ran, I said, what are you doing? I mean, look, man, make sure you get your knuckles deep into Florida. Don't leave room for anybody to creep in and mess that up. I want Florida to be bright, solid, 100% red. And until you get the people's mind frame set to where it's like, we will not even tolerate. See, that's how Democrats got their cities and their states set. So many of their left-wing, far radical cities and states, they won't even tolerate a Republican candidate. See, that's why it's so hard to penetrate Seattle, California, places like that, New York. Soon as you bring a conservative in there, they're pre-programmed to go, no, yeah. See, that's how I want Florida. That's how I want all conservative states to be, to where the citizens see the benefit of conservative governing so much to where they go, a Democrat? Oh, heck no. I don't even know why is even, I don't even want the Democrats to even try to run in certain states and cities, red cities and states. They just like, why are we wasting money there? They're going to get blown out. No need. So let's continue because Trump is reminiscing on Ron and his journey.
No, you're very popular in Florida. If you endorse me, and I endorsed him, and he went up like a rocket ship, and he ended up winning his thing. He had no chance. He was down like 30 or 40 points. And then, instantly, he won up. He won by like 20. He went from being down 40 to winning by 20, all in 2 days or 3 days.
And that is why I know that those midterms were sabotaged by Republican rhinos. Because the Trump effect is big. See, Trump's endorsements helped so many, and the Republicans fought against those that he endorsed, especially during those midterms. They were willing to surrender their own power and their own majority in the Senate and almost in the House just to stop Trump and try to make it look like he doesn't have that kind of sway and pull. But this is also something that every Republican voter needs to understand. When we vote for Trump in November, any House member, any senator that is either primarying somebody or is running against a Democrat, if we vote down ballot, there is no way, if Trump wins, there's no way we should not win the House and the Senate. If somehow, miraculously, you see states where Trump won the state and yet the Senate and the House has been lost, and I'm thinking, how could that happen? Did people just, because usually conservative voters are smart enough to go down that ballot. So you're telling me the president wins, the governor wins, and then we see 2 House members lose? I'm going, I don't know about that. Something went on in that local area or something. Because you can't tell me that conservatives go in and think somehow we're going to get some change done and some stuff, done if we just put the president in. We need the House and we need the Senate, and we need to run the table, the board. We need to run the board to the point where Democrats have no option but to sit on the sideline and watch us have our way. That's what I want. I want them sitting there going, we can't stop it. We can't stop what's coming. All we could do is look and say, man, they get me sick. Man, they passing all, they didn't shut that border down, man. They done got rid of the deep state. They make me sick. That's all I want them to be able to do is just sit there and watch, period. Nothing. I don't even want to have to consult with them. Don't even need their opinions. Nah, we got about 15 or 20, additional House members and Senate members. We'll do what we want. That's what I want. Because if they did that, you don't think they would? Man, they would change up everything possible. They would be like, we're getting rid of the Supreme Court. We're getting rid of. It would be chaos if they did that.
Days later.
Now,
Now, following our second place finish in Iowa,
Ron.
we prayed and deliberated on the way forward. If there was anything I could do to produce a favorable outcome, more campaign stops, more interviews.
What, on CNN, MSNBC? That's what he was scheduled to go on. CNN, MSNBC. Why? Why would you even entertain those networks? You already know they're propaganda networks, and they're only bringing you on to use you against Trump. That's what burned me up about him, Nikki Haley, and any of the rest of them that went on those networks.
I would do it. But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign. I'm proud to have delivered on 100% of my promises, and I will not stop now.
What?
It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. They watch his presidency get stymied by relentless resistance, and they see Democrats using lawfare this day to attack him.
Well. So somebody's trying to salvage their political career. Somebody trying to get back on the good foot. Can I get on the good foot? On the good foot. There you go. Now you got to go ahead and do a little bit of butt kissing, because you already see where the wind is blowing. Interesting. So let's continue.
Well, I've had disagreements with Donald Trump, such as on the coronavirus pandemic and his elevation of Anthony Fauci. Trump is superior to the current incumbent, Joe Biden.
I don't even know why you disagree with Trump on that. Trump wasn't in office long enough to get a handle on the coronavirus situation. He wasn't in office long enough to do that. I mean, he was blindsided by the whole thing. And when he finally got wind of what Fauci was really about, it was almost time for Trump to go. So I don't understand what he's talking about. Trump was against lockdowns. He might have been okay with them for 2 weeks. But then when they tried to go beyond that, Trump was like, what are y'all talking about? We can't lock down the whole country and economy and schools and stuff. Democrats use that to go ahead and just say, now we're going to set up a scenario, states, in our states, and use these scenarios to rig the election, to control the people, and to demonize Trump and try to destroy the economy so Trump will look bad on the way out. So I don't even understand why he's still criticizing Trump over that. So, but yet there he is. He's doing that. And see, he had 2 years. He had 2 years during COVID to see the lies, the deceit, and all that stuff, and to make those adjustments. Trump didn't have that, so he's criticizing Trump over 6 months maybe. But anyway, here we go.
That is clear. I signed a pledge to support the Republican nominee, and I will honor that pledge. He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear, a repackaged form of warmed-over corporatism that Nikki Haley represents. The days of putting Americans last, of kowtowing to large corporations, of caving to woke ideology are over.
So one of the things...
So basically, Ron DeSantis had to go ahead and tap out to the dawn. Ron had to tap out to the dawn. Wow. Well, there you have it. Yeah, somebody said he sounds fake. Yeah, well, he's doing what he has to do now because he knows he can't go back to Florida. First of all, it would have been embarrassing if he would have lost his own state to Donald Trump, which he probably would have done. And same thing is about to happen to Nikki Haley. I don't know what she's doing. But Ron right now is going, okay, I gave it a shot, stunk it up. But what he has done, though, is left a stain on his legacy. I mean, he was on track. He still, in my opinion, is the best governor in the United States. Abbott's a close second, but he's still done a great job with Florida. I'm not going to take that away from him. But he left a stain on his legacy when he decided to run against Trump for some reason. And then along that way, he capitulated to some of the tactics from the left, to where he came out bad-mouthing Trump, helping with some of the narratives that they wanted to push concerning Trump, knowing that these were all lies, knowing that this all was a tactic used by the left, the deep state, the fake news, and all of that. And if you don't believe me, listen to these tactics right here, y'all. The fake news is still on Trump's trail, man. They ain't giving up. In fact, they're getting worse. And these were the networks that was bringing Ron DeSantis on, trying to do exactly what we're about to witness here. Because this This type of Trump derangement syndrome is on a whole nother level. The media, they're not getting it. They're not getting it. They're saying, you know what? Trump's getting more popular, more powerful. But you know what we're going to do? Come out and make up stuff like this.
That's interesting to me about sort of the strategy in this
Raggedy
primary.
man.
I spent some time with the Biden campaign recently. You've spent obviously a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
Is that very eager for this fight with Donald Trump? And in some ways, it would be better for them if it was clear sooner so that they could run the race. But what are they telling you about how eager they are for the primary to be over and their preparations for that?
Okay. Y'all ready for this guy? He's Indian. So let's see what he has to say about this. Okay, this was the guy who did not like Vivek because, you know, he's a disgrace to Indians and all of that stuff.
I think the president has found his voice. He's strong in his speech in Valley Forge.
Hold on, wait, who's he talking about? President Trump? Or is he talking about Creepy, who we just watched trail off? Yes. Strong? Huh? He found his voice? That man's whistling out of his nose. And yet this guy, I think the president has found. Now if you ever want to see the DNC's paid operatives, paid network, paid PR network, that's what this is right here. This man is straight coming out lying and gaslighting us saying the president has found his voice. That's why y'all don't cover him saying stuff. That's why. He found his voice, but y'all won't play clips of him on your networks. That's what you won't do, because we'll find out that voice right there is making up words. There it is. That voice right there is quivering. See, that voice is trailing off. That voice is saying, anyway.
He wants to draw the contrast. He wants to say that, look, he stood up for the middle class, working class. Donald Trump had 4 years, large tax cuts to very wealthy people.
Just the opposite. This is amazing. You can only get away with this propaganda and this projection if your audience is completely ignorant. So he's saying that Biden looked out for the middle class. Trump only did tax cuts for the rich. And I'm saying, so that's why we were all doing better and making more money? That's what it was? That's why everything was cheaper and lower? That's why everybody got lifted up as the boat rose?
He's bringing manufacturing back. Donald Trump didn't do anything in terms of new factories.
What? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That man just said the Creepy's bringing manufacturing jobs. He brought like 85,000 back. I mean, I forget. Somebody did the math on that. I think it was Don't Run, Walk. And I'm going to have to pull that clip. But he did a breakdown on how many jobs, manufacturing jobs, Trump brought back. And then how many manufacturing jobs Biden created. And not the ones that they tried to take credit for coming back and starting up again. So really, it wasn't even a lot. I forget the number, boy. But Trump blew him out the water with full-blown ground roots manufacturing jobs. And yet here he is talking about that Trump didn't do any of that.
And most importantly, President Biden loves democracy. He loves the town halls. He loves the democratic spirit.
The projection, man. Reprojection. Unbelievable. So now let me get this straight. President Biden loves democracy as he tries to get Trump off the ballot, as he colludes with the DOJ and the FBI, and as he has all of these surrogates out there in different states punishing Trump and going after him. And as he got up there and said, we're going to have to ensure that he doesn't take back power. Yeah, all of that stuff. He loves it. He loves democracy as he puts together a dis and misinformation board. And now I found out that, the FBI and all of them, yeah, they were putting keyword searches together for anybody who, was Christian, who was into the Bible, or might have even go to hunting stores and things like that. Anybody who might just be right-leaning, all of a sudden it's a little database. They keep a track of that stuff. But he's into democracy, as he doesn't even allow anybody to compete against him. They won't even allow certain people to be on the ballot against him. But he loves democracy.
Donald Trump doesn't represent that. He's ready to draw the contrast, and people, like they have his whole career, are underestimating him. And come here, look at the enthusiasm for the president here.
When have people underestimated Creepy Sleepy and he has not let them down? He should be underestimated because he sucks. He never should have been the president. That's the whole point. He deserves to be underestimated. The guy was on the campaign trail talking about, I like kids rubbing on my legs and sitting on my lap. And you're telling me I shouldn't have underestimated that guy? That guy out there on the campaign trails talking like that? That guy should have never been anywhere near the White House. Y'all installed this man. And yet you're talking about that like it's a career. Did people underestimate him when he got busted lying and plagiarizing and had to drop out twice? Did they underestimate him? Huh? What about all the other lies the man told? But what is this guy talking about? Like, oh, I underestimated him all his life. No, we overestimated him. Right now, they're overestimating him. They can't even tell us anything this man has done since he was in office, period. He stunk as a senator and stinks as a vice president, stunk as a vice president and stinks as a president. Double stinks as a president. But here's this guy talking about that as they always did.
He's not even on the ballot, and House party after House party packed. Not because of me, because they want to vote for him.
He also loves people. He's an extrovert. It's quite exhausting.
Unreal. You hear Raggedy Patty coming in trying to add some sprinkles onto that mess, that poop pie. I know a poop pie when I see one. He also likes people, and those sprinkles are not going to distract me from that poop pie. I'm going, that's a poop pie, man. That's a poopsicle. Yeah, I know a poopsicle when I see one. So here we go.
I think it's fair to admit.
It'll help you, I think, realize what's really at stake in this.
I mean, Jen, people don't even want to watch clips of Donald Trump on our shows. The feedback we get.
Now, here we go. Y'all see Humpty Dumpty sat on that wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Y'all see that perfectly shaped egg head right there? You see that bullet head sitting there? Talking about people don't even want to watch Trump on our network. Oh, boy. Hilarious, man. So that's why they have people like Rachel Madcow come out that there's a cost, there's a price for a network to show things that are lie. So now he got to try to reinforce that lie and to justify why they will not show Trump because they're talking about, people don't even want to watch Trump. Now, this is such garbage. If they're not owned by the deep state, I don't know what is. And this lady, this weird-looking witch right here, wait until you hear what she comes out and says. This is fascinating that they allowed this chick to come out. This is the weird one that said something stupid in a montage, and they had that look like, yeah, that was pretty dumb what I just said, but hey, I'm paid to do this, so here I am. So according to this operative right here, people on MSNBC don't even want to hear Trump. They don't even watch him, y'all.
When we do that, but I think McKay hits a very important point. The urgency of Trump, the potency of Trump, the danger of Trump. And I think McKay's right. People I talk to do treat him as a quirky abstraction as opposed to possibly the guy who's going to help oversee the demise of democracy.
So what people are you talking to, Humpty? Huh, egghead? Huh, bullet? You didn't come to talk to me. Bring me on that show. I want to go ahead and drop my opinion on that show. Oh, so Bullethead is out here talking about, the quirkiness and him taking over the threat to democracy as they sit in their bubble talking to what? Each other? What do you think about it, Rachel Madcow? Well, I think he's a white nationalist and he's taking over the... Thank you. How about you, Joy Reid? Well, I think the same thing. Yeah, what about you over there, Anderson Pooper? Yeah, we're all on the same accord. So now here he is saying that the people, they all think he's a threat to democracy. And here comes this chick.
America.
Well, I think two things are going on. One, this speaks to how badly the mainstream media has covered him. They have normalized him. They have cleaned up the rhetoric so he sounds in a clip or he reads in print much more coherent than he actually is.
This is a mouth opening situation here where I just heard this woman say the media has covered him badly. They've covered him badly, y'all. 99% negative coverage, but they've covered him badly, y'all. All of that stuff. She said they don't even record his words correctly, even though what they do is take his words and take them completely out of context. This woman is saying everything opposite of what they are doing. So she's saying, well, yeah, you know what? They give him favorability when it comes down to his speeches and they don't even give him his words in the full context. So you mean to tell me that is why that these fake networks are running around saying Trump basically said he's going to be a dictator day one. He basically said it day one and never give the rest of that speech. You're telling me that's why all of you and your networks are always talking about some Trump said the blood of the country is being poisoned by, these immigrants that's coming in here and this and that. Is that why? Huh? Everything Trump says, they take out of context. And she's saying, no, they cover him too well. See, they don't give it to him raw. You know what I'm saying? They fix his words and make him seem like he's, legit. Here we go.
It's only very recently that the mainstream media has been reporting on his really shocking totalitarian claim.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's a blessing to be able to see this for what it is. I mean, could you imagine being a bubblehead and listening to this and believing it? This is like an alternative reality. There are people out here that's watching this network going, yeah, they need to cover him more accurately. They say too many nice things about Trump. From day one, they've been lying about this guy. And she says, just recently they started.
But of course, he's been this way all along. And I think because they have done such a bad job, because they have made an effort to treat the Republican Party like the Democratic Party.
Yeah, you shouldn't treat the Republican Party like that. The pure, innocent, uncorruptible, unquestionable Democrat Party. Man, she is like, I mean, she's on a whole nother level of prostitution. So she's saying because they've covered him like this and they're treating the Republican Party like a regular party, I guess. Yeah, she's jumping from Trump to the Republican Party. And then she's going to even touch on us, guys. She's covering all of her propaganda points right here. So, yep, the Republican Party is being treated fairly. And that's right there. They shouldn't have done that. Here we go.
This notion that he's not so bad, that he's just kind of a cartoon character has set in. And that's on the mainstream media. That's on the failure to be honest and to side with truth rather than...
Hey, yo, Green. Feel like I'm turning green, too. Hey, yo, Green. Feel like I'm turning green, too. From Bill Bixby to some incredible hope.
Unbelievable. Dun, 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 dun. You hear this chick out there? She got on that red dress and put on those high heels. Made me turn green with all of that garbage she out there spewing all over the place. Unreal. Man, if I was on that set, I would turn green and tear up the whole set. That's what I would do. I would tear up the whole set. People be running out of there for their lives. With truth, of course. With truth, not with violence. I wouldn't do that. I want to stress that. Okay, it would be nothing but truth.
And having this false balance. And I think the second thing, and why it's perhaps important to go to one of these rallies, is to understand why he does have supporters.
Yeah, now she's getting to the reporters. Her goal is to come out and throw mud on every group, starting with Trump, go from Trump to the Republican Party, because he, is a true 100% liar / propagandist. I got to go ahead and try to destroy any element that could oppose our party. And I got to try to pretend like I don't even know what her role is. I don't know what she does for a living. She's a paid prostitute, I guess. But nonetheless, so let's demonize Trump. Then let's go to the party. See, we can't just stop with Trump. Got to go to the party. And then we got to go to the people. So the reason you should go to a Trump rally is to see these crazy back-heeled people did what?
These people are part of a fascist cult. And let's be honest, there are a lot of them, but a lot of them doesn't mean that they're behaving logically or...
We're part of a fascist cult. A fascist cult. See, once again, every single thing that they are saying applies to their people. Antifa, fighting against fascism, anti-fascist, while we intimidate folks, while we attack folks, while we use political violence and intimidation, Black Lives Matter, all of that. Democrat tactics all across the board are fascistic. And here she is talking about these people are part of a fascist cult. that's across the board. What else?
Rationally. To the contrary.
We're not thinking rationally. We're not thinking rationally. As their voters scream up to the sky, why? Huh? As they sit in their cars screaming, all of that. As they walk around thinking Trump is guilty of being a Russian agent, 4 indictments, all of the crazy things that they spew to their voters immediately just inhale it and take it in as if it's truth. And now we see how they got there. From people like this who got the nerve to be straight up saying that we're the ones brainwashed, we're in a cult. There it is.
Seen in other fascist regimes that millions of people, sometimes even a majority of the country, becomes intoxicated with an authoritarian figure.
This is crazy. This is crazy. I mean, it's funny to watch because we know that these are lies. We know that this woman is straight up, set back and say, okay, what's the worst thing I can say? How can we try our best to label these Trump supporters as crazy, backheel, far-right extremists, and love a dictator? They're brainwashed. That's what I'll say. I'll come out and say they are intoxicated on a mass level with a dictator. They're not rational thinking people. Now, we've been hearing people say this was the next phase of their approach. Come out and say it's the voters. The reason we're losing, the reason folks are turning away from Biden is these people are uneducated. These people are intoxicated, manipulated, and controlled by Donald Trump. They're under some type of voodoo spell. Now, what she's describing is every radical liberal out there. Every radical liberal out there, but she's trying to throw it off on us. And we're some of the most informed people, and that's why they're mad. They're mad because we see right through her. Every one of us right now on my show that's watching this is going, we see what you're doing. Yeah, you're sitting back trying to say we're the ones that can't see it because you're trying to hang on to your raggedy audience and their brainlessness. That's what you're doing because we see what you're doing. We see what you're up to, you old ugly lady.
And these people are utterly irrational.
You know who she looks like. She looks like that aunt off of National Lampoon's Vacation. Clark. That's who she looks like. Clark. Yeah, the one who died and they put on a roof with the dog who they drug. That's who she looks like. She looks like that old lady.
If you speak to some of them, they will spit back these bizarro conspiracy theories.
You mean like Trump was a white nationalist? He's a xenophobe. He's about to become a dictator. He's setting himself up at the Supreme Being. He's a Russian agent. Trump stole nuclear codes. And Trump, you mean like that stuff? You mean like that stuff? Crazy lady from National Lampoon's Vacation. Holiday roll, whoa, 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 whoa.
They actually believe in all of the mumbo jumbo that he tells them. So I think it would be a wake-up call.
They got a mumbo jumbo cam on MSNBC. What is she talking about? All they speak is mumbo jumbo, man. They might as well be speaking a foreign language. Mumbo jumbo. That's all they speak, man. Nothing but mumbo jumbo. And the sad part is they got a lot of folks that done started speaking mumbo jumbo too, because see, they get right out there and they regurgitate that mumbo jumbo. As she's talking about, that Trump gets up there and says mumbo jumbo that always turns out to be right. You mean the mumbo jumbo that we all see ourselves, that Trump never had to even tell us how corrupt and evil these prosecutions are, how crazy that election was, how obvious the Russia collusion thing was. We all saw that with our own eyes. All of that stuff that they did was mumbo jumbo. And we all said, man, that's mumbo jumbo, man. That's mumbo jumbo. But here she is saying we the ones believe all the mumbo jumbo that Trump says that always turns out to be true.
About what these people are about. And no, we're not going to convince people who are part of the cult to switch. As you say, they're imperfect.
Look at that. Look at that. See, that's how you go ahead and write off, smart people. You just write them off as cult members. So I guess you think that this tactic is designed for two things. One, it is designed to keep their people under that spell, to make them say, hey, if you even think about switching and looking into, wait a minute, maybe Trump ain't that bad, you're going to be joining a cult. If you even consider this, you right there are going to be going off the deep end and believing mumbo jumbo. There it is. Yeah. See, that's the one thing that this is designed to do, is to keep people from switching. Okay. Number two, it is to write off the people who are on the other side so that folks will look at them as crazy and say, look here, man, not only can you not go over there to the mumbo jumbo, but those people are crazy. They're far left. You don't just write them off. They can't be voting for Trump because they're rational thinking people who see the benefits of Trump's presidency and his policies. Can't be that. It can't be that these people can see through all of our mumbo jumbo and our lies and our propaganda. It can't be that. Nope. It's because these people are brainwashed and they're irredeemable. And they wonder why our country's divided. They wonder why their ratings suck. And they wonder why they're not getting us to come back. Because once you see this kind of crap, you can't unsee it. I see right through her very, very clearly.
Pervious to any kind of data, any kind of information. But what you
like their voters. They fit everything she's saying. That's the irony of this. Yeah, you can sit back and show them all kind of facts. A radical liberal, show them all kind of facts, and they will go, see, this is why when you go and talk to them, and you say, how you feel about Trump? Trump right there is he's a criminal. He's you know what? He's a fascist. You say, why do you say that? You know what? I don't need to talk to you. See, they got them programmed not to actually, rationally defend their position, support it with facts, data, logic. No, they got them programmed to just get mad and call you a bunch of names. That's what they got them programmed. That's why they don't like even debating with conservatives. That's why you see these networks right here where they just bring on people like this. They vomit up all of this propaganda uncontested, because anybody with common sense will go, wait a minute, prove that. Tell me why you say that.
you have to do if you care about democracy is mobilize the people who already know he's a danger and reaffirm and re-educate the people who are perhaps kind of flirting in the middle. They're soft Republicans, they're never Republicans, about the danger of going back to Trump.
Yeah, there you go. So now what they're trying to do is save these people who are in the middle. They're like, yo, right now we are on the verge of losing all of our power. We're on the verge of it. And Trump's going to put his foot up our tail, and we're owned and operated by the deep state. So they're all one and the same. Democrats, deep state, uniparty, globalists, all of them. You know, extreme liberals, all of them. Just put them all in the same boat. But yeah, they're nervous about that. And what they're trying to do is target those people who are independents right now, because the statistics show even the independents are leaning towards Trump. So yeah, let's go ahead and, just in case they get any bright ideas, tell them that, yeah, you don't want to join the crazies, do you? You don't want to join the crazies.
And I think that's the job between now and November. And that's the challenge for the Biden administration.
We cannot deconstruct the minds of the American voters, but how much is the world reacting to Trump's blowout in Iowa?
Well, I think...
Yeah. So we can't deconstruct the minds of the American voters. That's what y'all want to do. Y'all want that Hillary Clinton type program. You know what? They need to be deprogrammed. So they're mad because we're on to them. That's what they're mad about.
Christian, you'd have to say that the world has been looking for reasons to reinforce a conviction that I found in talking to people in a lot of countries, which is that there's an inevitability to Trump being not just the nominee, but being restored to the White House. So
I am inevitable. That hurt to confess. That man had to say it. The people are bracing for impact because he is inevitable. Oh, I know that hurt that man right there.
I think for a lot of people outside the U.S., they looked at this with a sense of dread, but not surprise, because I think there's been a great sense that this is going down a certain track, and that's one more off-ramp that we've now avoided. New Hampshire will be the next off-ramp. So that's my sense of it, that there was no surprise, almost a reaffirmation of a fatalism that exists around the world that Americans are going to reelect us.
Okay, this is what...
Yeah, us dirty, stinking, stupid, ignorant Americans going to reelect Trump. Us back heel having one-tooth bobs all over the place. Yeah, we're going to reelect Trump. Now, I wonder... if Trump gets reelected and they look at the stats of how many demographics voted for Trump, I wonder how they're going to justify that. I wonder how they're going to, if they see that, what, 50 something, over 50% of Latinos voted for Trump, and across every metric, Trump, crushed it. I wonder how they're going to, are they just going to write us all off as, hillbilly, backhill, white nationalists that want to take our country back and feel God has given us this land? I wonder if they're going to say that. Or will they ever stop and say, man, by us getting on this network every night and demonizing these Trump supporters, we're alienating and throwing all of these folks who we claim, fit a victimized demographic into the same boat as all of these Anglo-Saxon Christians. That's what we're doing. So if Trump wins 30% of the black vote, I guess all those black folks are thrown in there with them. If he wins, whatever. They would never come out and confess that Trump is not viewed as a white nationalist dictator like they have been pushing everybody to believe. They will never make that confession. They will continue to operate as if, what they said was true, and the only people that voted for Trump was just white nationalist blah people. There it is.
Media critic Margaret Sullivan said this week about the coverage. In a constant show of performative neutrality, journalists tend to equalize the unequal, taking coverage down the middle, even though that's not where true fairness lies.
Wow. See, so they want swayed coverage. They say Trump's getting too much equal coverage. There it is. So we're not covering him evil enough. We need to cover him more evilly. There we go. That's the translation of that. See, we need more propaganda. Yeah, we need 100% uncut, pure propaganda, meaning any even potential right-leaning network or even middle-leaning network. Y'all all need to come far left. Y'all all need to jump on the Trump is a threat, existential threat to our democracy train. That's what y'all need to do. So that's what they're saying. And then this fool, to end with this, listen to what this fool has to say from MSNBC. And we all know he's a propaganda. But now he's trying to tell us that, it's different though. See, it's different between the left and the right.
But there's not equivalence here on the problems that you just referred to. There's not equivalence on political violence. There's not equivalence on responding to court cases. Bush v. Gore was very controversial, but there was no violent response. And there was not any mainstream response from Democrats about overthrowing the certification. Al Gore actually...
What? So he's going back to Al Gore and Bush when our country had a little sanity, see? See, that's what he's doing. He's not talking about the reaction that sparked when Trump won. See, so if he's talking about political violence, all we need to do is go back to 2016 when they provoked all of that political violence and that response from the left by leading up to 2016 election and saying Trump hates all Mexicans, he hates all the immigrants, and he thinks they're all rapists, drug dealers, and murderers. Trump is going to take over and become a dictator. Trump is a Russian agent, this and this and that. So they weren't doing that under Bush and Gore. They weren't doing that. They weren't advocating and encouraging mostly peaceful protests that they unleashed upon every neighborhood in Democrat-ran states and cities. They weren't doing that then. See, but here he is talking about, there's no equivalence. And I'm going, you're right. If you're saying that, because what I saw is from day one, right after Trump won, they start tearing up stuff. That's when you start getting Antifa pop up out of nowhere. They wouldn't let folks go on the college campuses and speak. They were attacking folks, dragging folks out the neighborhood. They unleashed political violence all over our country. And yet he's saying there's no equivalence. And he's right, but just not right in the right way. Okay. See, what he must be referring to is just that J6 situation where people were walking around the Capitol and all of that stuff.
Showed up on Jan 6. Remember, it was that day. And certified it. So
just one day. One day that's very suspect and questionable. One day that's very, very, very suspect and questionable. See, that one day that y'all tried to hide all of that footage inside that Capitol, that day, y'all didn't want that footage to come out because, see, that went it was contrary to the narrative that this was the greatest attack on the homeland, and it was completely 100% infested with violent insurrectionists that were never charged with insurrection. There it is.
Both sides is into this decay, and what Trump does, and I agree at times he may draw his opponents into messy, dumb feuds, but he is the one banking on a cynicism, an attack on democracy, and a complete rejection of the policy democracy that you want because they didn't even have a platform. So he's saying
they didn't even have a platform. Who is he talking about? The Biden administration, whose platform is abortion and the soul of the country, democracy is on the ballot. That's it. That's all I got for you. Abortion and democracy is on the ballot. Yeah. Trump has expressed his platform. Why do you think we're all voting for him? Why do you think we just sitting back going, Trump, we gonna vote for him just because he say he don't like all the blacks and the Latinos stuff. That's why we gonna vote for him. We don't need to know nothing else, man. Just know he thinks white is right. That is it. That's why we're voting for him. So now you saying that y'all don't even have a platform. Now I would challenge this guy to show me three examples of political violence on the right. Just three. How about one outside of J6, which I still say is very questionable, but just one outside of J6. Whereas I can go and throw a rock, close my eyes and throw a rock on the internet and land on about 12 examples of political violence coming out of the left. And he's talking about there's no equivalence.
it's just me. You don't even know what I'm going to do. Just vote for me, no platform, and you've got a whole Republican Party that's basically codifying that.
And he just described the Biden administration. Don't ask me questions about what I'm doing. Remember what he said to Charlemagne insane in the membrane when he said, President Biden, you got VP Biden, you have to come back and talk to us for what? Yeah, I already told you what I'm gonna do, which was nothing. Hey, if you don't know who you're voting for by now, then you ain't black. That's his answer. Now hush up, boy. Hey, we don't have to tell y'all what our platform is. We just come out and tell you we did stuff and stuff is going great. And don't forget abortion and, democracy on the ballot.
When you were a prosecutor, this was an extraordinary focus.
Can you-
Violence against women and children. Violence
Speaking
against
of abortion-
children. I know you've been very passionate about this for a very long time in a variety of different fields.
Yes.
But I do wonder, when you talk about the states in particular,
Yes.
you hold Trump responsible for the nomination of 3 Supreme Court justices who you believe intended at all times to then overturn this important precedent, as you say. 51 years later, here we are with it now being in past tense. If it's a state-related issue, is the election or candidacy and campaign of Trump as important?
Well, let's first be clear.
What? Let's be clear. That means you're about to lie and make something up, Camellia, like you always do. See, this is the bread and butter. Get all of the women all worked up over abortion and the Trump loves it. He loves the fact that he took away abortion and, he knew exactly what the Supreme Court justice would do when he nominated those people. So I guess what? He should have went ahead and nominated 3 liberal judges. You think the Democrats, if they had the power to do that, they would say, let's be fair and balanced. Let's go ahead and nominate 1 liberal, 1 conservative. They would pack the court with nothing but activists. We would have abortions for everybody. They would be giving them out. They would have coupons for abortions, abortion parties, demanding abortion. Well, you know what? You're going to get your abortion. Well, I don't want it. No, you're going to get one. Okay? It's for women's reproductive rights. That's why. Everybody's required to have at least 1. Okay?
The previous president expressed his intentions quite clearly, and fast forward to just recently, says he's proud of what he did.
And you can't be proud that you nominated some Supreme Court justices that ruled that you kick abortion back to the states, and that you can't be proud of that. You can't be proud that you got some judges that might be pro-life. You can't be proud to be pro-life. You understand? That's what she's saying. You can't be proud that you are an advocate for saving babies. There you go. You can't be proud of that. This is really what she's saying. See, when people start to step back and say, what are you really saying when you're saying this? We should be embarrassed about, people who are anti-abortion or pro-life. We should be embarrassed about that. We shouldn't be proud and take a stance that we're fighting for life. Is that what you're saying? Because that's what she's saying. That's what she's saying. See, now they would be proud if they passed a bill or a law for 9-month abortion. They would be proud. Now look at that. This right here is liberation for women.
And let's be clear. So, by inference, he is proud that women have been deprived of fundamental freedoms to make decisions about their own body.
Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. See, by inference, meaning I'm going to infer. There's no evidence. Trump didn't go into the Supreme Court justice and sit that now that I'm here, I'm going to be the final vote. I'm going to make sure that he didn't do that. He just appointed Supreme Court justices, and they, as conservative justices, ruled the way most conservatives would rule. Okay, the Constitution. That's what they did. They didn't say we're banning abortion nationally and every state needs to. No, said let your individual states make that choice. But see, they're not going to inform their low IQ voters about that. See, they want them to think Trump had something to do with it outside of nominating the judges. And just the fact that he's proud the way these judges voted makes him responsible for taking away reproductive rights for women and all of that stuff. And I'm saying, no, that's not what happened. But who cares when it comes down to their voters? They're just going to accept the radical inference that she's making.
By inference, proud that doctors are being penalized and criminalized for providing health care. Proud that women are
Where this is just throwing out stuff. Where? Yeah, see, these are the same people that would be mad if doctors were penalized and criminalized for altering a young adult's genitals and things like that. Yeah, they would say, you shouldn't be attacking these doctors. This 9-year-old has the right to make these changes and alterations. And you guys are proud. Yeah, you're darn right. Doctors should not be doing that. All right, go to some liberal city or state if you want to do that crap, which it should be outlawed across the whole nation in regards to that. But here she is now. She's talking about these doctors that would be penalized, as if there's no place a woman could go to get an abortion if she wanted one.
Violently suffering because they don't have access to the health care they need.
Notice the cute words that she tries to use. They don't have access to the health care that they need. Just very simple. And she don't want you thinking about what that really means. Okay, see, they don't have access to the abortions that they want. See, that right there might paint a different picture in the minds of your bubbleheads. So what do you say? Access to the health care that they need. This is all about health care. That's what it is.
So let's understand that the stakes are so very high. And
how high are they?
President Joe Biden has been very clear. When Congress puts the protections of Roe back into the law, he will sign it. Similarly, President Joe Biden has been very clear. If these extremists achieve their other goal, which is to have a national ban, which means state by state by state, Joe Biden will veto that. The stakes are high.
The stakes are high. So high that these black people in Chicago, they feel it too.
That there are immigrant advocates at state houses all over this country. That's right. Who are advocating for non-citizen voting in local elections.
Check out this video from Chicago. A black civic leader who most likely will be called racist by the end of today, calling out the nonsense of allowing all the illegals into his city.
Politically, having over 500 people in our community would completely wipe out any interest we have. Are you aware that there are immigrant advocates at state houses all over this country? That's right. Who are advocating for non-citizen voting.
Democrat advocates. There you go. See, that's how high the stakes are. See, I'm sure these people right here, and they're probably thinking, well, you know what? Even though they're about to go ahead and let our cities and states be over flooded with illegal immigrants, and they're advocating for them to have voting rights, would disenfranchise us and our vote, will water down our vote. You know what we're more concerned about? Is abortion. We're going to go ahead and stick with Biden because of abortion that doesn't really impact hardly any of those people, most likely. But hey, you know what? That's more important than these people that's being shuffled into our city, and they're trying to advocate for them to be able to vote.
In local elections. What if that happened here? That would change the mindset of what we as a black community need to thrive here in Chicago. That's a concern of ours.
Yeah. It's not abortion. It's not that. It's not Trump becoming a dictator. That's what you're telling me, man? I don't understand, black man. I thought abortion was the number one issue. Huh? Yeah, I thought transgender rights was the number one issue and pronouns. Yeah, I thought that was the number one issue. What about Ukraine? What about Ukraine?
This is much bigger than the mayor of Chicago or Chicago Police Department.
Mayor Conehead?
This is an effort to destroy our neighborhoods and silence our voices even further.
Yeah.
Question I'm asking.
Well. And then we'll end with joyless read, y'all. See, this is what you get from the left. Crazy behind nonsense. These are the priorities of the left. Abortion, immigrants, stuff like that. And then to put the cherry on top, we go right back to MSNBC or DNC, where Joy Reid, this is an important issue right here, which is children's books being banned in school. Not mathematics, not spelling, not history, stuff like that. No. These are the type of books that are being banned in Joyless Read. She don't like it. Let's listen to Big Face with this nasty, stinking blonde wig sitting on top of her head, but yet so pro-black. You would think she would have dreadlocks. Much racism as she pushed, you would think she would have nothing but red, black, and green on, sitting there doing her show in a dashiki. Yeah, it's funny how she goes and gets blonde hair. She trying to mimic the white woman. I don't understand. I'm sure that's naturally blonde, right? So let's continue and see what Soul Sister number 1 has to say about the kids.
What is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What
are the expertise you have? I would tell her my expertise is common sense and a little bit of moral compass. There you go. Yeah, I want to know what yours is, Joyless Read.
What a tragic story of a young man who's anally raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, rape, pedophilia. Joy, you said you'd let me answer, so I'm going to answer for you.
No,
in what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school?
Democrats. Yeah, progressive left ideology. That's acceptable. See, you're talking to people who are okay with kids cutting off you know what. So obviously, they're okay with kids reading books with the stuff this woman is describing. See, now you give these people that type of power. You think any Democrat would come out and speak out against this type of nonsense in schools? You think they would come out and say, I mean, I did see one Democrat a couple weeks back in a video clip where this young man was like, I cannot vote to allow kids to get these operations. I can't vote for that, which kudos to that guy. It was a young black dude. But on an average, Democrats either would be too scared to come out and say anything against this stuff, or they would be okay with it. So now this woman is talking about the things that's in this book. And I'm thinking just off rip without even reading the book. What? These things are mentioned in a book in school? Fourth graders? Are these the books y'all saying that if Trump gets back in and Republicans take over, they're going to be banning books? Good. If these the books you're talking about in schools, good. We need that type of banning. See, shouldn't be in schools. But here's Joyless because she don't like it. She's an advocate for this garbage.
That's my question to you. Tell me what the context around the strap-on dildo or the rape of a minor child by a teacher.
Hold on a second.
To introduce it to their psyche. That's what it is. That's the context. That's the real goal and agenda, to open up their mind and their imagination to all of this stuff. That's what it is. And Joyless Read is allowing herself to be used. She's a catalyst for this garbage, an advocate for this mess. She's one of the biggest sellouts on TV. See, this is what kills me. Like when Ron DeSantis came out and said, y'all are using black people as an excuse to push this into the schools. What black people want this stuff taught to their kids? Y'all using what this is a discrimination against black people. Black people don't need their kids knowing about this stuff. They don't want this crap. Yeah, but y'all just come out and don't tell them that. Y'all just say, you know what, this is all just discrimination and book burning because they don't want to. And I'm saying, no. How about you tell people what's in these books? So here she is, got the nerve to come out and be an advocate for this type of garbage in the schools and attacking this lady under the premise of what qualifies you to be able to even speak on these things. Well, what qualifies you, Joyless Read? And the last I checked is a parent with a kid that they're concerned about qualifies them to speak on these things. If their kid is being subjected to these books against their knowledge or their will, now all of a sudden I'm qualified to speak on it. Okay. All right. But not according to Joyless Reed.
No, we're talking about public school.
One moment.
Okay.
So now you've asked me a question.
Sure.
So I'm going to answer it.
Okay.
Well, who is the main character? What's the name of the main character in all this?
Who gives a crap? Who cares? Now you're going down a rabbit hole for no reason. Huh? Stick with the content. You hear what who's the main character? So what you want to do, a book reading is sit down and talk about the character and you know what, that character was real interesting. I think that nobody cares about that. I want to know why you got dildos and stuff mentioned in there and anal rape and all of that stuff. I want to know about that. I don't care about the character. See, so these folks who get up there and they try to justify this garbage in schools are using things like what? Well, who's the character? If you don't know who the character is, obviously you're not qualified to even speak on these things. Isn't it ironic that every time you would see parents going to these school board meetings and start reading verbatim out of these books, the school board would always shut them down and say, that's too graphic. Not even aware that, wait a minute, if it's too graphic for us as adults, then why the heck are they in schools? But here's Joy. Try to shut her down when she start reading about it. You know, hey, let me go ahead and tell your audience what's in these books. Because see, that's where I didn't want you to go. I didn't want you to start showing our audience how graphic these things are in the books. Because I'm here to promote this garbage.
You're asking me right now.
You just gave me very specific information about this book, so you're presenting yourself as somebody expert.
It's the gentleman.
Who's the main character in the book?
The main character is the author.
What's his name?
George, I believe, is his first.
Face. She thought she was going to get her and be able to try to discredit her based on her not knowing the name of the author and who the main character is and all that stuff. She was probably going to say that the only thing you're just focusing on is the dildos and this and that and all of that. She actually knows the author and the name of the author. Now she's like, oh crap, I got to readjust my strategy of evil.
Because you're giving me very specific information that is.
You're asking me to remember the name of an author.
You just remembered
for no reason. It's irrelevant.
Here's my question.
Talking about
Here's my question.
You didn't answer my question.
No. I'm going to answer.
Great. I would love to hear that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm interviewing you, and you're not interviewing me. So let's just make sure it's a conversation. Okay.
Yeah. Porter, I'm the interviewer. Okay. All right, I'm controlling this because, see, as soon as you make me look stupid, I got to try to shut that down and cut you off because we can't have anybody hearing about how foul and disgusting these books are. See, my job is to come out here and prostitute myself and push every bit of perversity that the left tells me to go out and push.
Saying to you is that as you are not an expert in this book,
I don't have to be an expert to know that dildos aren't appropriate for public school. I mean,
this
let's get real.
Is a full context story, as you said, of the author's experience.
So what? Don't nobody need to know about, there's a whole bunch of books out there that are autobiographies and it's my experience and it's my truth. That doesn't mean your truth need to be shared with kids. So now this dodo bird with that big blonde wig, I can't overlook that. That big blonde bowl cut looking like Curly or Mo or one of them. Yeah, was it Mo with the bowl cut? Looks like Mo with a blonde bowl cut out there trying to say, well, it's because this is the author's experience. Therefore, we have to subject the kids to all of the garbage the author went through.
Why is it your right or a Moms for Liberty activist's right to say that a parent who wants their child to have access to this book, which gives a personal experience of this author, why doesn't a liberal parent, for instance, or a parent of an LGBTQ kid, why don't they have a right for their child to just have access to this book? Why?
You hear how stupid their arguments are? They're so perverted, and they got to try to come out and make sense out of this type of perversity. So now she's asking a very obvious question with a very obvious answer. We're not against parents. Maybe personally I feel that a parent shouldn't subject their kid to this, but a parent should do this on their own time, not have it accessible and subject all the kids in the school to it. You as a parent can take your kid home and read this mess until you're blue in the face. But don't subject my kids to it or all the other kids to it. What is the real goal and objective for even doing this? Why do kids need to know this author's personal experience if it's this traumatic? Do I need to go ahead and read about Jeffrey Dahmer and all of his personal experiences? And when I was a kid, I started killing little animals, and this is what I did to him, and all of this stuff. Well, it's his experience. This is autobiography. Yeah, let's let the kids read that. What that does is it plants stuff in the minds of kids that they should not have planted there. But Joyless Reed is okay with that. She's okay with that because she's a big fat sellout with a big blonde wig.
Is it your right to say they can't?
So again, we're talking about incest, rape, and pedophilia.
And each parent, each parent has to decide what is appropriate for their child to read. So
at home, you see once again, this woman's arguments can be destroyed so easily. Yeah, sure, knock yourself out at home. Yeah, but listen to the last part as we close.
I want you to answer. I'm going to ask you one more time. Right. What is your right to tell a parent who wants their child, who might feel seen by this story? Why don't they have the right?
Who might be seen by this story. Key statement. She's walking herself right into this last punch to her chin. Who might be seen by this story. Okay? So in other words, we think that all kids should be subjected to this type of writing from this author that went through whatever experience he went through. And we're saying that it should be justified just in case a kid in the school can see himself or herself in this story. But what would that mean in regards to that kid? Why would a kid see himself in this story? Only reason that a kid would see him or herself in this story is what?
Why don't they have the right as a parent to say, my child can have access to this book?
If a child feels seen by this story, that means that they have been the victim of a predator. That means that they have either been raped by a family member, they've experienced
and your proof of that is what?
You just said that if a child feels seen.
Look at that. She's the one that said it. She's the one that said it. But then when this woman breaks down the obvious, what did she say? And your proof of that? And your proof of that? What else would a kid say? Well, yeah, you know what? Here I am. I'm in the 4th grade, but I'm hearing about rape and all of this stuff, dildos, all of that mess. And I can see myself in that. I can see myself in that story. None of that's ever. I don't even know what that stuff is. I don't even know what they're doing. I don't even know what all this stuff is. But I'm hearing it for the first time in this book. But somehow I'm able to identify with them and say, I can see myself in that story. Now she made herself look real stupid and showed just how evil her raggedy tail is. Because that woman just went ahead and said, look, if a kid sees himself or herself in that story, that means that kid needs way more than a book. That kids need way more than saying, well, now I feel like I've had the counseling that I need. After reading this book and seeing myself in it, now I'm able to cope with the trauma of experiencing this in real life. Thank you. Thank you, book and author. So this is how dumb, but how evil these people are.
By this story.
You're now making assumptions.
But if a child has been raped,
that's not an assumption.
Now you're literally creating a story behind a child that you don't know. Let me show you a form.
Look at her. She had to pull the parachute on that one because she knew what she said revealed just how dumb and evil she is to even try to support this garbage. By trying to say, well, first of all, you say something stupid, like, well, that means the kid, what if a kid why would you deprive a kid from seeing himself in this story? What? Why would a kid in the 4th grade see himself in this story unless that kid is a victim of everything that's in this story? But you got any proof of that? Yeah, common sense. That's what I have. See, just like I don't need to be an expert to know that this book is not appropriate for kids. But if we turn everything over to the left, if we somehow allow these people to control our lives, our kids, what they see, what they read, what they're able to do, if we just simply say, you know what, we're going to go along to get along, we're not going to fight against this cultural war that's been brought to our shores, to our doorsteps. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and let them scare us into not voting our conscience, shame us into saying, you know what, we might as well just go ahead and worry about our social score and perhaps what the FBI is going to label us as. And we don't want to be labeled as dumb and cultic and all this stuff. This is what you will unleash on the country. This is what you would co-sign to allow to sweep across our country. If for some reason we don't win this election coming up in November, these are the ideas, these are the policies, these are the social norms that they embrace and they want to push into our society. And we are the last frontier. Holding it down. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm like, hold the line. Dang on it. Hold the line. There it is. Don't let them break you. Don't let them break you. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. But you see what we're up against, man. Lots of propaganda, lots of evil, lots of lying, lots of projection. This is crazy. I mean, it's really something to behold. It's fascinating to look at because, see, to us, it is so transparent and it is so clear, but yet it's almost unbelievable that these people are that evil. And we're blessed enough to be able to see it. We're not deceived by it. We're not shocked. We're not bubbleheads. We're really seeing it going, wow. I mean, this is one of the things that back in the day, people would say, well, you know what? Nobody's really that evil. They can't be doing stuff like that, are they? But we're at that point in our history where they're not even hiding it. And it's so obvious, but yet people are blinded by it. They don't even see it. And I'm going, I'm glad I see this. I'm glad I'm able to say, no, that's evil. I'm so thankful I'm not one of them people that's sitting there saying, yeah, I can see why these people would let these kids read this stuff. I mean, if you're one of them people, you're in trouble, man. If you're one of the people who are seeing this through the lens of the stuff that we have covered in this show tonight, you got to reassess some things. You really do, man. You got to be like, wait a minute, why am I seeing this through the eyes that this woman just said? Is this okay? Why am I listening to the crazy lady who looked like she's from dang on National Lampoon's Vacation telling us that all these people are brainwashed and out there? It's unreal. So somebody said, I love this chat group. I couldn't leave an hour ago. Good. I'm glad you made it. Glad you made it to the end. So thank y'all so much, man. I figured I'd start Monday off with some fire. That's right. So hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other platforms. I'll be back here tomorrow, 7 o'clock. I don't know if I'm going 2 hours, might go 1. Who knows? Who knows how far I go, how long I go. I definitely ain't going to go over 2. That's for sure. So just mark that off. All right. That we're going to allow for an hour or two. Hour and a half would be a nice happy medium. So this number right here, 330-974-4607. Text MAGA to that number just in case they bounce me off this network platform for talking like I talk, saying the truth about this garbage and revealing this mess. Don't forget, check out Kevin's Corner store. See, what you might want in that store. Purchase some things if you can. I'd really appreciate it. And we probably got about 24 hours or so left on my my monthly fundraiser link. So you're welcome to hit me with a last minute buzzer beater. I'd appreciate that. So thank you if you are someone who's been supporting or are going to support. I appreciate that. Follow me on my other channel, and don't forget Rumble and all of that good stuff. Okay. If you're not being alerted to notifications and stuff like that, please let me know. And if you're being unsubscribed, let me know, and resubscribe and make sure your notifications are turned on to all. Now, with that being said, it's time to bounce, y'all. After a long night of exposing this crap. See the apes. Yeah. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.